Jared, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to have me.
No, it is an honor, huge one, for you to be here with us
It's my
today.
honor. Thank
And
you.
the fact that you have chosen to share your story as many times as you can and impact and change lives with it, we're grateful you're here.
Thank you.
I don't know where to start. I don't know
Yeah.
where to start. I think we start at the beginning.
Yes.
Please.
My name is Jared Omache. Some call me Omache Diary because that is my hashtag in
Yes.
social media.
Yes.
Because my life is a diary. You cannot even read and finish. So I love God because He loved me first.
That is so true.
That is why I'm here. I can be able to speak today. If it wasn't for Him, then this could have been an impossibility. So professionally, I practice in the medical field. I'm also a counseling psychologist, also pursuing my studies at Park University in the School of Psychology. I grew up in Kisii from the age of around 5,
Kisii
full
wapi?
time. Kisii
Mahali panaitwaje?
panaitwa Sironga.
Okay.
It's in Nyamira County. That
Okay.
is my rural home.
Okay.
That is after the death of my parents.
Yes.
We were taken to our rural place to be with my grandmother, who unfortunately rested last year. We're still mourning her. She was the only parent we had.
Okay.
Like the whole of us, we are like
How many siblings?
we are 3 siblings, but we are many, like 16 of us. All of us we are orphans
From the same family?
from the same family.
Oh, okay.
From the same family.
Okay.
My uncles were like our parents, my parents, all of them rested. So we were left in the hands of our grandmother, who single-handedly fought every single of our life just to see us grow.
Yeah.
So we are going to understand as we move on with the show.
Yes.
And about me, the funny thing is, of course, my interest is people and life. My life just revolves around people and life. That is why you may wonder, like now, okay, how did I get from the
Yeah,
medical field
because-
to now the field of psychology?
Yes.
Because I love life and people.
Okay. Okay.
We-
So it was difficult growing up.
Very difficult.
You were 16 kids with only a grandma.
A grandma,
Mlienda shule nyote?
tulijaribu, and all of us now are schooled. It's an amazing story.
Okay.
It's an amazing story. But
How did-
again,
How did it happen? How was she able to do that? Was she working? Did other family members also, help or chip in to see that you got your education?
now we have grown in a very funny lives of tribulation. All of us, we have struggled in one way or another. That is why you talk of me attempting suicide more than 13 times.
Yeah.
And no one, I'm disclosing these things now. Even some family members, the extended family, nobody knows because nobody was there.
13 times?
Those, yes, 13 times.
What was going on at that point at your life for you to feel like I don't need to be here anymore? I don't deserve to be here. It's easier if I just...
Tribulations, suffering. Like you reach a point in life when you say now, no, I don't think now I'm fit even to live. I just want to just die. But let me tell you something.
Yes.
Today I'm here seated, looking at you, the viewers looking at me. I'm healthy and no scar in my body. I had a lot of scars when I was growing up.
You did?
Yes, I did.
There's nothing there. Nothing that I can see.
Nothing. You can't see anything. I'm here.
Yes.
And now I'm using this because I came to find out that God wants to use this to be an inspiration.
Okay.
Because now in my field also, when I'm doing some counseling, when I'm talking to people who are just giving up in life, so you find out that these are the kind of things when I point out, And when they see the tears rolling and they come back to reality and say, okay, so there are people who have been here before. Even mine is not even a thing. And they wake up and they go and they tell God, I'm sorry, God, because I didn't know. I just knew, I thought it's me. But people have been there attempting suicide.
Yeah.
The worst part of me attempting suicide was really bad. And those ones, it's only by God's grace
What
that I'm
happened?
alive.
What happened?
I went to, there is a time I was really beaten.
By whom?
I had came from school. I was so hungry. I had gone like 3 days without food. I don't want to mention them because it's a bit sensitive,
Okay.
but it's somebody we are related to. So I went to ask for food. So the kind of beating I got that day, it was just the end of me. Broke my back, broke my hand in the farm. And I just said, I don't want to live again.
I'm so sorry, Jared.
I just wanted to go where my parents are. So I went, I got, there is this, it's poisonous. There is this, the cow, when you are treating the cows, the ticks, the dawa,
the deep.
Yes. So I went and I found where they used to stock those chemicals.
Yeah.
So I took 2 bottles from there. I went, took 2 bottles.
You drunk?
Without thinking a thing. I just wanted to die. I went, locked myself in an old house. We had an old house because nobody was living there. There are weeds all over. So I locked myself inside. I said, just let me die inside here. But what happened really shocks me even until today.
Yeah.
I blackouted there as a young boy. So inside there, I slept, and when I woke up, it was noon. I tried to, I'm not dead, but I was deaf. I was deaf. I couldn't hear a thing. I think I went into a coma because that poison you cannot drink and stay alive.
2 bottles,
Yes,
Jared.
yes. Not even a stomachache. I don't have anything, but I'm deaf. I can only see I'm deaf, but I could see the sun up. So I decided, because I was so hungry. Remember, I've been beaten because I was so hungry. I've took poison because I wanted to die. You can imagine, I was so weak. I was so weak.
Yeah.
I was so weak. So I tried to, now I said, let me navigate, go to the swamp downhill, because in Kisii it's normally hilly.
Very hilly.
So I said, let me go just to the river. Let me go to the river and be there. So as I was going down, I met with one of the person in the village. There is these potatoes in the farm. So I tried to uproot one because I was so hungry.
To eat it raw?
Yeah, to eat it raw. I was caught. Again, the kind of beating I got from there. Remember, my back, I can't support my back. So that day I was to die. He beat me thoroughly. Until now, when I remember, that is why you see, every time I always remember that. And that is why, because I think he beat me because of food. I was trying to get some food.
Yeah.
I am a young boy, no parents, nobody's giving you food. Like now you see, as a mother, you go home, oh, my kids, have you eaten? For me, nobody is going to ask you that thing. Nobody. You have to survive. You have to look, you have to get what, you have to look for your own means to survive this life. Again, I was beaten and left there to die. But there are some people, some neighbors who heard the cry and they came. There is a village doctor there. I went, checked me, gave me some painkillers. Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 7 years. 7 going to 8 years. Yes.
Very small boy.
Very small boy. A very small boy. I started just surviving life after the death of my parents at 5. You don't know any relative where you can go. The last time I could see relative is when our parents were alive. They used to come in plenty. Relatives all through in our home. Even I remember when I was a kid, my dad was a military officer, worked here in Moi Air Base, Islay, in the Air Force. My dad was, my mom was just a pretty woman, so beautiful.
Yeah.
But she left me when I was barely 4 years. I have only one surviving photo of my mom.
Still have it?
I still have it. I treasure it. And only one surviving photo of our dad. Everything was taken from us, including photos. So I don't know even how I looked like when I was a young child. The only photo we have is when we are standing in the burial ceremony of my dad. Because normally when they bury the parents, the kids, you are called to stand there.
Yeah.
And because my dad is the one who died later, so you are put there to stand so that people can see. It's like they're parading you, and you could hear people talking and promising big things. We will stand with these kids. We will just try what their parents left behind.
Yeah.
We school them, and after they grow up, we open some business until they become independent. But orphans suffer. Those just become just formalities in a funeral for people to clap and say like they are going to hand over help.
But it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Because if it happened, then this kind of tribulation we couldn't have gone through this kind of tribulations.
Schooling.
Yes.
How long did it take if it was impossible for you to even get food?
There is an old friend of my dad.
Okay.
And it happened that he is a good man. He was a headmaster in a nearby in our village primary school. So when there is a time, there is some fees people used to pay called an activity fee. So when he heard that I'm at home, because one thing that happened after the death of our parents, like everybody went their own way to survive. My siblings, my cousins, after we lost, everybody went on their own way, trying to survive. All of us, we are young, trying to find a way. Some attempting suicide, some in the streets. I went to the streets. No, when they had, because now the only thing I could do for survival is working in the farm, in someone's farm. Sometimes you are given only food.
No pay.
No pay. No one is going to give you pay. You work because in the evening you need some food to eat. It's like you are working, you are surviving to eat. That is the kind of lifestyle many orphans go through out there. After they bury their parents, now in schooling, that the headmaster now heard that this young man, because they were friends with my dad.
Okay.
My dad was not, I came up, I was born in my family, our family was able. Our parents were schooled. They had very stable jobs. They were business people. We had our own fortune as a family. Because even those who we come from the same place, they know our family very well. But things took a total turn around. So that headmaster sent for me one day. And when I appeared in school, he cried because in tatters, I just appeared in tatters, no shoes. The short, the small mini short I was wearing, it is so tattered. And it was like, he cried. And I remember he had some tea. That day I had not eaten anything. So he told me, take this tea and this mandazi. Then I'm coming. I think he was also protecting me not to see his tears.
Yeah.
So he went outside. I came and found that I've just taken all the tea because I was so hungry. I was so hungry. So after that, he told me, you'll be coming to school.
Okay.
You'll be coming to school. When you come, at tea break, come and take part of my tea. And I always visit him. He's now retired.
What's his name?
Mr. Nyairo. Yeah. Of recent, I have not, because also life has become busy.
Yeah.
But I intend to visit him soon.
Yeah.
So from there, primary, it was just turbulent. But now the big deal was this. After you go, you take that tea. In the evening, you are supposed to go back. Back to now the real situation.
Yes.
And most of the time I used to sleep on top of a tree.
On top of a tree?
Yeah. I remember even one time I fall from a tree. I broke my back. So it was the season of the maize. The maize plantation was big. So I fall. It was an avocado. The branch was weak. So I was there because I was scared I was to be beaten that evening, because I didn't come early from school, go water the cows. So I went to sleep on top of a tree. At night, I think on turning, I fall from a tree. I broke my back. I stayed there for like 2 days, 3 days. I couldn't move.
In the maize farm?
Yes.
Alone?
Alone.
For 2 days?
Yes.
That means you've missed school for 2 days?
I've missed school.
And nobody's looking for you?
Nobody. Myself, I cannot pick myself up from there. It is a bad thing. When you break your back, you cannot even move.
Jared, we're just going to take a very short commercial break.
Yes.
We will be right back, so don't go too far, because we'll be coming back with Jared.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Full Circle with Mikali. I am trying to get to our feedback because Jared has quite a lot from you guys. Thank you for sending that in, and if you have words of encouragement, if you feel like this story is talking to you directly, if you're going through this and you're wondering what do I do next, if you have any questions whatsoever, 111 444 111, that is our SMS line. It's just going to cost you a shilling to send that in. Just before we continue, I'm sorry, can't talk, my pain is invisible, and nobody wishes to help me get a job unless I use my body in exchange. I have no family. Growing up as an orphan is the worst thing in life. I am truly depressed. I wish to die with my babies because watu watachanga tutazikwa tu. I passed through hell. Even today, I'm a single mom of 2 na sijui la kufanya hata. And you're saying your name is Mary. Steph from Nakuru, the story of that man is so emotional, so touching. Hi Mikali, it's Njeri Mwangi, and I'm really moved by this conversation, asking myself so many questions. Why are people so wicked? May God remember all the orphans this morning. So thank you so much for sending in, and you can keep them coming. We'll take a look at them. But Jared, getting back to you,
yes,
primary school as it is,
yes,
was hard.
Yeah.
But then the headmaster made sure that you went to school.
Yes.
High school, was there someone else fortunate enough to help you with that?
At the beginning, things were really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Things were really bad because I got an admission for my Form 1, but it was so uncertain how I'm going to go about it. But remember my grandmother was, and my grandfather, they were very stable and very people, they helped a lot of people.
Okay.
But after now the death of my grandfather, mm-hmm, my grandmother was left, and I think she went into depression.
Okay.
And she had such an accomplished children. She was a kind of a mother who gave birth to sons and daughters who accomplished big things. My first uncle used to work in a treasury called Abuga. And Abuga, now in secondary, my cousins who are my siblings, we call ourselves siblings. We don't call ourselves cousins. We are siblings because we suffered together. So, because the firstborn to our dad, because my uncle who used to work in a treasury was a banker, the children who are now my elder siblings who are a bit becoming adults, and they were a bit stabilizing. They now, towards when we were from Form 3, they took the responsibility.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. One of them is called Sylvia. Sylvia runs, she's a businesswoman in Kisii, Mara Machineries. And we have Josephat and Evans, my brother. At least they were now becoming a bit stable. Not stable as such. They had just, they could earn very little, but they sacrificed their dreams.
Yes.
They sacrificed saving their money so that they can even feed us. And now we are here. So from Form 1 and Form 2, it was a total hell. Because now for me, I just stayed at home. I just tried to report. I didn't have school uniform. I didn't have books. Nobody could want to just look at me, because if you have not paid school fees, nobody knows your story. But there came a man. Our parents, the home, there is a secondary school. My grandfather gave land for that school. And our parents equipped the chemistry lab in that school, and it's in the school book that they did it. So one time, there is this principal who had gone for transfer. One time I had been beaten until now the chief was like, no, you are going to kill these children. And now they asked, you did standard 8, why are you not going to school? Because I could not even appear on the road. I don't even have clothes. I was like, I was living in the world. Because even the kind of clothes you are wearing, it's even so shameful for you to appear before people. So my life was in the farm, work and be given food. Go take care of the cows at the river, in the forest, come back in the evening. So my grandmother fell into depression and started to drink and everything. And one time she tried to burn herself in the house.
Oh no.
Because she wanted to die. She has buried her children who had accomplished big things. And now there are so many kids here. She doesn't know what to do with them. She just wanted to die. She could go for a week just taking some alcohol, burning herself in the house. But also she never died. She never died. And we are still mourning her. She rested last year at old age. And she was very happy. She saw us growing to wear suits to encourage people. And we go home, we could now celebrate Christmas together. And when she was about to die, she called everyone and blessed us. Me, I was a bit far. I had exams, so I couldn't go. But when I go and they sent, we just talked on phone and said, I've blessed all of you. I'm now living in peace. She was the only parent left. But now she is resting, and we are grateful to her that she brought us. From Form 3, at least things started to
look up for you.
Yeah, better.
Jared, when you've experienced so much pain,
yes,
as a child, as a young adult, getting to a space where you're able to talk about it,
yes,
how did that happen? Most of the times you keep quiet. Most of the times we give up in life, and you had given up so many times.
yes,
But now you're not.
yes.
Now you're here telling your story, making sure that somebody else does not give up in life.
And I hope and I hope that I continue speaking about this. And wherever I can be able to reach, I make sure that nobody commits suicide. Nobody says that things are impossible. That even from the ashes, wherever like you see things are now, it is the end of me, that somebody, you can still rise up again.
Yeah.
So after Form 4, my sister, my big sisters, I call them, we don't call each other cousins. Sylvia, Josephat, Evans, Evelyn, they did a wonderful job. And now we are here. They just, the little that they had, they tried, because the last minute, from Form 3, that is when like I could sit in class. Because Sylvia and Josephat, they could just buy some soap and say like, okay, just share, just go to school and just try and finish Form 4. So from there, I did my Form 4, but bad enough, I had no documentation, no ID for my father. The system was new. We were required to produce birth certificates, IDs for the parents, and the principal, we didn't produce on time because we didn't have documentation. So they registered me. They allowed I sit for exam, but when the exam came, when the result people were checking, mine was XXX. I didn't get my exam. I thought like, now this is the end of me. And I had some people like, there are some, I don't want to mention them by name. They rejoiced and they said, now look at this chokora. This chokora alikuwa anajifanya atasoma sana. Because one thing I was so focused about it is education. And I remember the words of my dad, because my dad died. I was on his bedside when he died. He was breathing the last. And he told me two things. Never take something that doesn't belong to you if a person has not given you. And I've never stolen. I've never taken anything. Because at some point in life, I had even a chance of becoming a gangster. But the words of my dad, never do that. And number 2, try and go to school. So after that, the results are here. Now the principal is like, okay, we don't know what's happening. But at the end of the day, they followed up. I got my results.
Ah, great.
And I was happy.
So you didn't even have to repeat?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
There was no even money to repeat. I said, because during that time, I just came to Nairobi for a hustle.
Okay.
And now that is the beginning of my life, because I had an option of sitting down begging.
Yes.
But I said, no, I have 2 hands. They broke my hands, my back, so many times. But I'm now here.
Yes.
I can now rise up. I'll not depend on anyone, because the kind of frustrations when orphans depend on people, because you go to ask for food, you are beaten. You go to ask for clothing, you are beaten. You are just chased away. You are just tossed around. People doesn't want you mixing with their children. Even during Christmas, when they are taking photographs, it's like they don't want you to appear near where they are taking photographs.
Do you know what the Bible says?
Yes.
That orphans, baba yao nani?
Ni Mungu.
Basi. That's the reason. That's the reason. No matter what they did to you,
yeah,
you had, like a greater, superior being, just protecting you and being there for you.
Yeah.
And you're here today, and our time is slowly running out. But what would be your words of advice to all the people who are just writing in saying, I am almost giving up, I don't know what to do, I feel like I'm at the end of the road?
No giving up. Reach out to me and I'll tell you, no reason for giving up.
Yes.
Just call me where you are. Just I'll tell you, and your perception will change, because I had an option of just giving up completely in life.
Yeah.
I attempted suicide. All those times I never died. And when I came to Nairobi, I suffered the first month and I never got anything. I tried to beg along Moi Avenue, and one person kicked me and said, this chokora mumetuzoea sana. I said, no, I'm going to look for a job. And guess my first job, I was a security guard along Dome Estate.
Okay.
And I did that job with extreme faithfulness. My second one, I said I'll save money I take myself to driving school. I did my driving school. And unfortunately, the guy who used to train me was killed in the last post-election violence. I also almost got killed in Madari area 10. Those guys, they beat me. They really beat me during the last post-election violence. They were to kill me, but God never allowed that. Because we risked, it trained me on taxi. I've been a taxi driver in Nairobi, not because I want to do that job, because I don't want to sit down and beg.
No.
Because I have an option of building slowly, save that little. I take myself to do some craft courses. I did my driving, I become a taxi driver, went to KMTC. In KMTC, I could do some things and some jobs, taxi job at night, save money, daytime I'm in class. And just going that way in support with my other siblings, I finished.
You finished?
I finished KMTC and I passed with that distinction. With that distinction.
Yes.
And remember, during this time, I said, I have to reach for my brothers and sisters, the orphans.
Yeah.
That is what makes my heart happy.
You know, we have a few SMSs here, and we have like less than a minute.
Yes.
Thanks for bringing some topics. They really inspire me. Jared, there is always a reason for everything, and we thank God. You are going far, man. You've made me look down on my problems. It's very painful, those memories. May God give him courage to be a blessing to many.
Amen.
Ethel Wanjala, thank you for that. May God remember all the orphans. Surely a touching story. My name is Jonathan. Hi, Mikali. Tell Jared I'm so sorry for the pain he went through. My name is Maureen Awino Odingo, with a single mother who took good care of 11 children. Life was so hard, and there's only one person who always comes to our rescue, and that is God. Jared's story is my story. I cannot control my tears. Charity from Kirinyaga. Jared, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And do not stop.
I'll not stop.
Do not stop. I'm just looking for one. Oh, here we go. Say hi to Jared. He's my good friend.
Thank you.
Humble and God-fearing. He has motivated a lot of youths. He's also a good chef.
Yes. And
you are a chef?
Yes.
Unapika vizuri kabisa.
Yes.
You got all the skills that you could master.
Yes.
Jared, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
God bless you.
Thank you.
And keep doing what it is that you're doing.
Thank you.
To inspire, encourage, and impact lives.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure we haven't even covered half of it.
Yeah.
But we tried.
Let's have another date.
Yes.
And for those ones who are just contemplating suicide, that's not an option.
How can people get in touch with you directly as we go on a break?
Maybe on social media,
yes.
Jared Omache, Jared Omache, or if you search an hashtag Omache Diary, or maybe I can give my number.
Please.
My number is 0722 438 555. If I repeat again, 0722 438 555. So wherever you feel like there is a group of people who are like giving up, youths are now having challenges, and people are contemplating suicide, they need to listen, and they just need to know that
someone is there for them.
Someone is there for them.
Yes.
I do orphanages because that is my family too. So I think because of time,
yes,
we can have another date.
Okay.
Yeah,
we shall plan on that.
We shall plan on that.
Yes.
Yeah, but don't get scared to call me to your place.
No,
to your organization out there, to your groups. I can come. I'm available. I'm available.
All right.
Yeah.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
We've been chopping onions here in studio.
Yes, sorry.
But we're going to take a very short commercial break. We will be right back. Don't go too far.